Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about subject-verb agreement. At the end of today's class, you're going to be able to understand the basics of subject-verb agreement and how to apply those basics in your writing. So what's next? Singular and plural. In English, there can be lots of confusing rules, ideas, and thoughts. Let's begin simply. Once you have the foundation of what a plural means, more than one, and singular being only one thing, you're well on the way to proficiency. So let's talk about this. In this example, we see that when we have one cat, the verb we use is different than when we have more than one cat. Think about that for a minute as we go into our next component. What about two subjects? For example, we have two people, Tony and Corey, who happen to be Colorado Mesa University students. When you have two subjects, Corey and Tony, we always use the plural verb are. When we have a word that ends in S, it's not treated as mini mathematics or more than one news. We simply remember that when it ends in S, we use a singular verb. When we have many things like lots of mice or more than one woman, for example, then they are obviously plural. When a word does not end in S, but we are talking about more than one thing, we use a plural verb. In this case, the plural verbs are in blue. When we have a word like there, we can use a singular or a plural verb depending upon the number of things we are talking about. For example, in this instance, we have one gift on the table. When we say there was a gift, the A is implying one thing. Similarly, when we have more than one gift on the table, we indicate that there is more than one plural by saying gifts. So let's talk about the quantities of time, money, and distance. $10,000 is a lot of money. When we have time, money, or distance that is obviously more than one, the rule is that we use a singular verb. Think about that for a minute and come up with other examples in your own mind of how you might use time, distance, or money with a singular verb. When we use each or every, there is an implication of one. Each one or every one. So now let's take a moment and reflect on how much you've learned. Remember how the subjects and the verbs interact. Remember and consider the rules for time, distance, and quantity. Lastly, remember implied meanings. Please feel free to go back over this tutorial if you need more support. Thanks for listening.